Okay, I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but millions of Americans could see their SNAP benefits get cut, and it's happening way sooner than you think. Now, there's a lot of misinformation flying around social media right now, so I read through the actual federal policy documents so you don't have to. And what I found is honestly concerning, but here's what you need to understand. This isn't about work requirements like everyone's talking about. This is about state error rates and the federal government cracking down hard on states that have been making too many mistakes. Hey friends, if you're new here, welcome. This channel is all about helping you navigate government benefits, understand policy changes before they hit your wallet, and figure out how to protect yourself when Washington makes big moves. And trust me, this is a big move. Look at this headline. SNAP benefits will soon be tied to error rates. These states are in the biggest trouble. Only 8 states, that's right, would receive full funding if this went into effect today. That means 42 states are scrambling right now to fix their error rates or face massive funding cuts. And guess who ultimately pays the price? You do. Before we dive into which states are affected and what this means for your family, let me tell you about something that could help. So here's what's going on. And I need you to pay close attention because this is not what you've been hearing on social media. The federal government has told states, stop making so many mistakes or lose funding for food assistance. Starting with fiscal year 2028, which actually begins October 1st, 2027, states with an error rate higher than 6% will start losing federal funding for SNAP. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's 2027. I've got time. But here's the problem. States have to start making changes now to get their error rates down by then. That means cuts could start happening as early as this year or next year. Let me read you what the Congressional Budget Office estimates. States will end up reducing or eliminating SNAP benefits for about 300,000 people. Subsidies through child nutrition programs could also decrease by about 96,000 children. 300,000 people, 96,000 children. Those aren't just statistics. Those are real families who could lose food assistance. Let me show you the actual numbers because this is eye-opening. The federal government set the threshold at 6%. Let me tell you where states actually are. Alaska 24.66% error rate. That's the highest in the nation. Just to give you perspective, their error rate the year before was 60%. They've improved, but they're still way above the threshold. States in serious trouble. Georgia 15.65%. Florida asterisk 15.13%. New Mexico 14.61%. Oregon asterisk 14.06%. New York 14.09%. States still over the line. California 10.98%. Now, everyone talks about California giving away free food, right? But they're still double the federal threshold. Texas 8.32%. Even Texas, which you'd think would be running a tight ship, is over. Louisiana 6.62%. Washington State 6.06%. The few states doing well, Idaho 3.59%. South Dakota asterisk 3.28%. Wisconsin asterisk 4.47%. Vermont asterisk 5.13%. Only 8 states total would receive full funding if this policy took effect today. Let that sink in. So, what does error rate even mean? The error rates include both overpayments and underpayments. But here's the thing. Overpayments are far more common. That means states have been giving people more money than they're actually eligible for. Now, this is where it gets really concerning for you personally. Let's talk about what this actually means for your benefits. There are essentially 3 groups of people who are going to be affected. Group 1, people who will lose benefits entirely. These are the 300,000 people the CBO mentioned. These are folks who probably shouldn't have been eligible in the first place based on the strict federal guidelines, but state errors let them slip through. When states audit their roles to reduce error rates, these people will get cut completely. Group 2, people who will see major benefit reductions. This is probably the biggest group, and you might be in it without even knowing. Let me explain with an example. Let's say you've been getting $400 a month in SNAP benefits, But when the state audits your case, they realize you're only eligible for $300. You've been receiving that extra $100 every month for the past year. Here's the scary part. The Trump administration is not telling states, oh, well, that was our mistake. Don't worry about it. No, they're saying that overpayment needs to be paid back. Group 3, people who will face benefit clawbacks. This is where it gets really tough. Let's say you were getting $400, but should have been getting $300. That's $100 a month overpayment over 12 months. That's $1 and $200 the state overpaid you. They're going to want that money back. How are they going to get it back? Most likely, they're going to reduce your future benefits. So instead of getting that $300 you're actually eligible for, you might only get $200 or $250 for several months while they recoup the overpayment. The exact percentage will be up to each state to decide. Here's what people keep missing. Yes, fiscal year 2028 starts October 1st, 2027. That's when states officially have to be under that 6% error rate or start losing federal funding. But states can't wait until 2027 to start fixing this. They have to start making changes now. That means 2025 to 2026 states will be auditing cases, tightening eligibility, and potentially starting to reduce or eliminate benefits for people who don't meet strict guidelines. 2027 final push to get error rates down before the deadline. 2028. If states still haven't fixed their error rates, they'll have to cover 5 to 15% of SNAP costs themselves. States with especially high error rates like Alaska and Georgia have until 2030 to comply. But that doesn't mean they're not going to start cutting benefits now. And there's another wrinkle to this. As of right now, the federal government is in a shutdown situation. What does that mean for your benefits? Come November 1st, your SNAP benefits could be delayed. That's a separate issue from the error rate problem, but it's another thing you need to be aware of. Here's what's really driving this. The Trump administration has made it clear they believe states have been abusing federal funding for the past 4 years. The Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, is still actively looking for what they call waste, fraud, and abuse in federal programs. SNAP is just one program under the microscope. The administration is adamant that states need to return funding that's been misused. And President Trump has made it clear he's not done going after money. He says the federal government is owed. This means SNAP is just the beginning. Other assistance programs are going to face similar scrutiny. Let me be specific about who needs to be most concerned. If you live in these states, pay extra attention. Alaska, Georgia, Florida, New Mexico, Oregon, New York, California, Texas. If you're in any of these situations, your income fluctuates month to month. You recently had a change in household composition. You've been on benefits for several years without revocation. You receive other benefits that might affect SNAP eligibility. Your case hasn't been reviewed recently. The people most at risk are those whose cases might not have been properly verified or who might be receiving slightly more than they're eligible for due to reporting errors or outdated information. Okay, I don't want to leave you completely panicked. Let me share some things that could help. First, if you're currently receiving the correct benefit amount based on accurate information, you should be okay. The states are primarily targeting errors, not people who are legitimately eligible. Second, you have appeal rights. If your benefits get reduced or eliminated and you believe it's wrong, you have the right to appeal the decision. You typically have 90 days to file an appeal. Third, there are other food assistance programs that aren't tied to SNAP. Food banks, community meal programs, and local assistance programs can help fill gaps. Fourth, being proactive can protect you. Update your information now before they audit your case. Here's your action plan, and I'm serious. Do this as soon as possible. Step 1. Verify your benefit amount is correct. Log into your state's benefits portal or call your local office. Ask them to review your case and confirm you're receiving the correct amount based on your current situation. If there's an error, it's better to catch it now than have them catch it later and demand repayment. Step 2. Update all your information. If your income changed, if someone moved out of your household, if anything changed, report it now. Yes, it might reduce your benefits, but it's better than facing a clawback later. Step 3. Keep documentation. Save all your notices. Keep records of your reports and document every interaction with your SNAP office. If there's a dispute later, you'll need this. Step 4. Check your state's error rate. Look at that list I shared. If your state has a high error rate over 10%, expect more aggressive auditing and be extra careful about keeping your information current. Step 5. Build a backup plan. Start identifying food banks and other resources in your area now. Have a plan for how you'll feed your family if benefits get reduced. I know that sounds harsh, but being prepared is better than being caught off guard. Step 6. Look into other programs. Are you eligible for WIC? What about free or reduced school meals for your kids? What about senior food programs if you're over 60? Don't put all your eggs in the SNAP basket. Look, I need to be honest with you about something. There's a lot of political rhetoric around this issue. Some people say these error rates prove there's widespread fraud in SNAP. Other people say the error rates are mostly technical mistakes and innocent reporting issues, not fraud. The truth, it's probably both. Yes, there are some cases of actual fraud, but there are also a lot of cases where people made honest mistakes, didn't understand the rules, or where the state made data entry errors. But here's what matters for you. Regardless of whether the error was fraudulent or innocent, if you've been overpaid, the state is likely going to want that money back. Fair or not, that's the reality we're dealing with. I cannot stress this enough. If there's even a possibility that you're receiving more benefits than you're eligible for, you need to address it now. Don't wait for them to catch it. Yes, it might mean your benefits go down, but that's better than receiving a big overpayment bill later, having future benefits drastically reduced to repay the overpayment, potentially facing fraud charges if they decide the overpayment was intentional. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to protect you. Here's the bottom line. This is real. It's happening, and it's going to affect millions of people. The 2028 deadline isn't as far away as it sounds because states need to start making changes now. If you're in one of those high error states, Alaska, Georgia, Florida, New Mexico, Oregon, New York, California, Texas, be extra vigilant. Your state is under pressure to dramatically reduce errors, which means aggressive auditing and likely benefit cuts. But you're not powerless here. By staying informed, keeping your information current, and being proactive about your case, you can protect yourself from the worst of this. If this video helped you understand what's actually happening with SNAP benefits, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm monitoring these policy changes constantly, and I'll keep you updated as things develop. Drop a comment below and let me know. What state are you in? Are you worried about your benefits? What questions do you have? I read every comment, and your questions help me create better content. Share this video with anyone you know who receives SNAP benefits. This information could literally help them avoid losing food assistance or facing unexpected overpayment demands. And remember, needing help doesn't make you weak. Being smart about protecting your benefits makes you smart. There's no shame in government assistance, but there is wisdom in making sure you're getting what you're actually eligible for and not setting yourself up for problems down the road. Stay informed, stay prepared, and take care of each other. I'll see you in the